Alrighty, this is my video on how to huntard like a noob. I'm just going to go through a few things, specs, add-ons, a bit of a rotation, power DPS, and kind of just make the choices that I do. We'll go through some of the boring stuff first. So we'll go through my talents. I am marksman, spec. This is what I've got. Master marksman works really well with calling the shots. Those two synergize very, very well. If you've got one of these, you really should have the other. The idea is that aimed shot, which is my biggest damaging ability, has a 100% chance of making my arcane shot or multi-shot free. Arcane shot now, with this talent, reduces the cooldown of true shot, which is my biggest cooldown, maximize damage. So those two work really, really well together. So every time I'm casting aim shot, it makes my arcane shot free, so I can hit them one after the other. And by doing that, I'm going to be reducing true shot, so that instead of a 2-minute cooldown, you can essentially get it to a minute cooldown, which is massive. Careful aim. This works really well in raids because most of the time when people are going to blow lust, it's going to be at the very beginning of a boss fight or at the very end of a boss fight. And if I can have an ability that sort of works as a timer in relation to that, kind of like an execute ability, then that's really beneficial. This just means that I can heal myself more quickly. So 30% heal is really good, and that just means that it comes up more often, which is great. This line here, Hunter's Mark, is the one to go for. Streamline sounds very, very good, but I've done lots of testing on it and it just doesn't match up. And City Focus is a stupid idea. You shouldn't go for that one. Post haste just means I can get out of stuff and move quicker when I need to. Double tap is the one to go for here. Lethal shot sounds good, but it's kind of like streamline. It just doesn't quite live up as good as it sounds it should. So double tap is the way to go. And this, you make sure you try and synergize it with your careful aim. So for example, while the boss or the target is above 80% health or below 20% health, you want to try and double tap with aimed shot, because it does 50% more damage. Outside of that time, you want to try and double tap with rapid fire. And we've already talked about calling shots. Alright. So obviously I've got a bunch of add-ons here that are just quality of life add-ons. But I'm just going to go through the ones that you use for boss encounters. Energy Watch, that just puts my focus down here so that I don't always have to look up into the top left-hand corner. This one just makes a screaming noise. Siren goes off whenever I'm standing in something that I shouldn't be. Everyone should make sure they've got that. Omens set threat meter. It will usually come up over here on my screen. Recount tracks damage done. I know a lot of other people use different things nowadays. I just stick with recount, does the job. Threat plates, that just puts a little different coloured box on top of any mob that I happen to have aggro against. If it's yellow, it means I'm possibly about to pull threat. If it's red, it means I've pulled threat. If it's green, everything's good. You know, that doesn't change, doesn't work with the target dummies. So you won't see that do anything other than just stay yellow. But obviously in a raid or a dungeon, it works really, really well. Weak auras, I'll come back to in a minute. It's probably the most important add-on of everything that I've got. Target health percentage, that's just this one up here. So whenever I target a mob, it will show how much health they've got. It's just nice and big. And I've got DBM. So the reason why I have that target health percent is because of careful aim. So I can see really easy whether they're above or below, and it changes colour, which is a nice touch. Alright, weak auras. So I just have a bunch of things just to keep track of everything that I'm doing. If I don't have my hunter's mark up, it'll just flash at me. If rapid fire is ready to go, it will flash at me, and then I've got a whole bunch of timers just telling me everything, how long I've got left on last, how long I've got left on my abilities, a whole bunch of things, speed boosts just go over the top of each other. And yeah, it's the hunter ones, and then underneath here is just all the ones that I've got for all my different tunes. So you can see I've got a lot of weak auras, timers on everything I do, so that's really important. Alright, so just onto the gear that I have. So I'm running in the rhythm twice. This is on both of those. I'm running focused fire twice. It's on both of those. And then I'm running unerring vision on the third one. So I've got 2 in the rhythm, 2 focused fire, unerring vision, and then I'm also running surging shots. So on this particular piece of armor, I did have the option, and I was previously running with 3 in the rhythms, so that I didn't run with surging shots. Ideally, what I really want to do is have 3 in the rhythms, 1 focused fire, 1 unerring vision, and 1 surging shots. But I don't have that perfect synergy. I don't have the piece that would make that work, and I'm not really too fast because this is fine. Other than that, I'm really trying to stack mastery as much as possible. So you see I've got mastery on that piece, mastery, mastery, mastery. Don't have mastery there, mastery, mastery. And that's a mastery trinket, and that can give me mastery as well. The idea is that people say you need as much haste as you can get, but I get the haste through rapid fire. So when rapid fire finishes fully channeling, my haste is increased by 672. I've got that twice, so it goes up much more than that. And the thing to note with that is it does say when it's finished fully channeling. So breaking a rapid fire channel early is a really bad idea, because it means you've wasted your opportunity to get all that haste. It will take half a second off my cast, so that's why I want to make sure that I do rapid fire first, and then I do aim shot second, so that aim shot then is half a second faster. Makes sense. Alright. Let's just do some damage, and we'll see how we go. I'm going to put up a pull timer. My idea is that at the very beginning of a raid fight, I have a few set processes that I go through. I mean, the first thing is I just want to make sure that I've got Hunter's mark up. When the pull timer begins, I'm going to hit double tap straight away. So double tap lasts for like 14 seconds. So I've got plenty of time to make sure that it still goes off, but I'm going to eat away at 10 seconds of that sort of timer, which means it'll be available 10 seconds earlier later on into the fight. Usually what happens when the timer reaches about 3 seconds, I've got misdirect macros. I'll just go bang, 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 and then I'll immediately start casting aim shot. So that means I've got my trinket and my pre-pot all done, and then I start casting aim shot, and the idea is you try and get the timers right so that when the pull timer hits 0, that's when everything goes off. You get a really big hit at the start, and then straight away I'm into the idea of rapid fire first, then aim shot, because that's reducing all my cooldowns, and then I'll start using everything else, and we'll just see how it all turns out. Right, so let's get going.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And that's how it's done. 27k, not too bad. 40% crit rate. Pretty decent effort. Okay, when it comes to AoE, there's a little bit of a thing that you want to make sure you try and do, and that is that when you hit multi-shot, which does the same thing as arcane shot, so hitting multi-shot will also be reducing my cooldown on true shot aura, so that's really important. It just means that in AoE positions, and I should point out AoE positions is 3 or more mobs. If you've got 2 mobs, then you're just single targeting, we can't cleave. But if you've got 3 or more mobs, then this is what you want to be doing. You just replace all of your arcane shots with multi-shot. It's basically a multi-version of arcane. Same kind of thing, 15 focus. Does less damage overall, of course, but that's because it's intended to hit multiple targets. So I still want to make sure that I've got my hunter's mark up on something, my main target that I'm focusing on. And then when I hit multi-shot, I get this idea, this thing comes up called trick shots. And that means that my next aim shot or rapid fire will ricochet and hit 5 additional targets for half of the original damage. So that's really important because that's where my actual AoE comes from. Alright, so let's just go through and show what that means. I hit multi-shot and then I'll instantly be hitting my main abilities. Rapid fire is the better one in this situation, and then you've got aim shot as well. The reason why rapid fire is better is because the more targets it's hitting, I'm going to be getting my energy back, and without my energy I can't do my aim shot in the first place. That's basically it. Cool. I hope this has given people who want to play Marksman Hunter a go some information. Hope it helps. Cheers.